Right now, rescue workers are driving metal probes into 12 feet of compacted snow, searching for people who went to bed in a mountain village and never woke up. Right now, thermal imaging drones are sweeping a valley in the Italian Alps that no longer looks like a valley. It looks like a burial ground. Right now, Italian prosecutors have opened a criminal investigation because what happened on that mountainside was not just a natural disaster. Someone may have known it was coming. The Aosta Valley sits in the northwestern corner of Italy, wedged between Mont Blanc and the Matterhorn, one of the most breathtaking corridors in all of Europe. Skiers have carved its slopes for generations. Villages, built from stone and timber, have stood in its shadow for centuries. The people who live there do not fear the mountains. They live with them, beside them, beneath them, the way you only can when you have never watched them move. On the morning of January 14th, at 4:51, the mountain moved. A snow slab measuring 100 feet deep, nearly half a mile wide, and carrying an estimated 3 million tons of compacted ice and debris detached from the upper face of the Grandes Murailles Ridge and accelerated downslope at speeds exceeding 120 miles per hour. It crossed an avalanche barrier that was rated to stop it, and the barrier did not stop it. The slab hit the village of Champoluc's lower district and the access road connecting 2 additional communities before anyone had time to reach a phone. 3 hotels, a ski lift station, 11 residential structures. Gone. Not damaged. Not partially buried. Gone. Pressed into the valley floor under a white mass so dense that the rescue vehicles cannot drive on it without sinking. 43 people are confirmed missing. 17 are confirmed dead. And the snow is still moving in places, shifting and settling as rescuers try to work within it. To understand why this happened, you need to know about a process alpine scientists call weak layer failure. And you need to understand why this particular winter made that failure almost guaranteed. Beneath the surface of a snowpack, invisible from above and undetectable without specialized instruments, certain snow crystals transform over time into a structure called depth hoar. These crystals grow large, angular, and hollow. They interlock loosely like a house built from sugar cubes instead of brick. They look like snow. They do not behave like snow. They behave like a trapdoor. All autumn and into early winter, the Alps experienced record temperature volatility. Warm fronts pushed daytime readings 4 degrees Celsius above historical averages. Then overnight temperatures plunged. Then warm again. Then cold. Each swing expanded and contracted the snowpack, cracking the bonds between layers, accelerating the formation of depth hoar across hundreds of mountain faces simultaneously. Then came the heavy snowfall of early January. At elevation, 140 centimeters fell in 9 days. That new snow loaded directly onto the weakened depth hoar layer below. The science is not complicated once you see it. The new weight pressed down. The weak layer could not hold. The entire slope above Champoluc became a single, loaded weapon waiting for a trigger. The trigger came before dawn on January 14th. Here is the part that should make every person watching this furious. The Avalanche monitoring station at Col de Roland, positioned specifically to detect instability on the Grande Muraille Ridge, logged 17 anomalous stress readings between January 8th and January 13th. 17 data points showed progressive weak layer compression at depths consistent with imminent slab release. That data was transmitted automatically to the Regional Avalanche Warning Center in Aosta. The warning level was not raised. A risk assessment document prepared by the Italian National Institute of Geophysics and Volcanology in November of the previous year identified the Grandes Murailles face as exhibiting elevated structural instability, consistent with multi-year permafrost degradation and accelerated base layer deterioration. That report was submitted to the Aosta Valley Regional Authority. The ski resorts operating beneath that face remained open through the first 2 weeks of January. The mountain road connecting Champollion to the valley floor, designated as a primary evacuation corridor, was never flagged for precautionary closure. Italian prosecutors from the Turin District Attorney's Office confirmed on January 15th that a criminal investigation has been opened targeting regional officials and private resort operators for alleged negligence and failure to act on documented hazard data. The charge being considered is multiple counts of culpable homicide. People are missing under 12 feet of snow, while the officials responsible for protecting them are now being asked to explain why they did not. Her name is Elena Ferraro. She is 38 years old and she runs a small rental property on the southern edge of Champollion with her husband Marco and their 2 daughters, aged 9 and 11. On the night of January 13th, Elena posted a photograph of the mountains from her kitchen window. The sky was clear. The peaks were lit by a half moon. She wrote beneath the photograph that some nights in the valley feel like standing inside a painting. By 5:15 the following morning, that building was under 9 feet of compacted debris. Marco and the 2 girls were recovered alive by rescue teams from the Corpo Nazionale Soccorso Alpino e Speleologico at approximately 11:40 in the morning, sheltered in a structural void created by a collapsed interior wall. Elena has not been found. Stories like hers are multiplying. A German ski instructor staying at the Hotel Weisshorn, a group of 4 university students from Milan on a week-long winter holiday, a 72-year-old retired railway engineer who had lived in the same house on the same street in Champollion for 41 years. All of them are still beneath the snow. Rescue teams are working in rotating shifts around the clock. The survival window for avalanche burial victims closes at approximately 72 hours. That window is narrowing with every hour that passes. Now here is what the rescue operation and the criminal investigation are both preventing anyone from saying clearly on camera. The collapse above Champollion was not an isolated event. It was a symptom. Dr. Francesca Moretti, glaciologist at the University of Turin, has been studying alpine snowpack destabilization for 11 years. Her data shows that the depth hoar formation responsible for the Grandes Murailles failure is currently present at critical concentrations on 4 additional high-risk slopes in the Aosta and Piedmont regions. 4 slopes, all of them above populated valleys, all of them loaded with the same January snowfall that triggered the Champollion event. All of them showing the same progressive stress signatures in available monitoring data. The Alps are warming at twice the global average rate. Glacial mass loss across the Mont Blanc Massif alone has accelerated by 63% since 2000. As glaciers retreat, they expose bare rock faces that previously anchored snowpack from below. The anchor is gone. The snow has nothing stable to grip. The weak layers form faster, extend deeper, and cover wider areas with each passing winter. What happened above Champollion is not a once-in-a-generation event. It is the new baseline, and the infrastructure built to warn people about it has not kept pace with the acceleration. Italy operates 42 avalanche monitoring stations across its alpine network. 27 of them are currently functioning below their certified operational specifications due to deferred maintenance budgets that have been cut in 4 of the last 6 fiscal years. The sensors that detected those 17 stress anomalies above Champollion were working. The human system responsible for acting on the data was not. The European Avalanche Warning Services published a joint assessment in the autumn of the previous year. calling for a 40% increase in sensor density across high-risk alpine corridors, and a standardized mandatory closure protocol for infrastructure beneath any slope logged at hazard level 4 or above. That protocol does not currently exist as binding law in Italy. It exists as a recommendation. Recommendations did not stop 3 million tons of snow from crossing a valley at 120 miles per hour before sunrise. The criminal investigation is widening. A second wave of subpoenas has been issued to resort operators in 2 neighboring districts. Satellite imagery from the Copernicus Emergency Management Service is being used to identify additional slope faces showing visible surface fracturing, consistent with imminent instability. Scientists tracking those images are not comfortable with what they see. The valley beneath the Grands Marais is silent now. The ski lifts that should be running are buried under snow that has set like concrete. The village roads that should carry morning traffic are under investigation and under collapse. The mountains that have watched over this valley for 1,000 years are still there, unchanged, unmoved, completely indifferent to what they have done and what they are prepared to do again. Elena Ferraro's photograph is still online. The mountains in it are lit by a half moon. They look like a painting. They looked safe. They were not safe that night, and they are not safe right now. And somewhere beneath the snow that buried her valley, the criminal investigation and the rescue operation are racing each other to answer the same question from 2 completely different directions. Who knew? And who said nothing?